Yeah, man, a little bit of throttle, this thing just takes off.
You gotta find that sweet spot and just hold it through the whole thing, you know?
Over jumped again right there, that second one. Huh. Well, we gonna give her a try? See what's going on?
Yeah, give her a lap. Moto. Yeah, I'll see you on the start. You got that thing nice, man. This is the green one, right?
Yeah.
Down here.
It's standard, just the way it comes. All
right.
Are you listening?
Before we get into the video on the different maps of this KX450, I want you guys to bear with me. I have the new GoPro 7, which I'm still trying to figure out the different aspect ratios of it with my editing software. And I am obviously not doing so well. But we're trying the green map on this 2019 KX450F. And I gotta tell you, it is something else. This thing is just a monster. Now this is actually what we had rode before on my previous KX450 video. It was the exact same bike, the exact same map, and everything that came with it. And you guys really want to know my review about that. I'm not going to go too in depth with it right now. You can watch the other video and figure out how I felt about it. It's basically the same thing. I just wanted to get my bearings back on it before we started changing the map styles and before we started changing the torque and everything and all the different settings with it, so I could feel the actual difference. Nothing has really changed. Everything's kind of what I expected from it. I can still clear these tabletops with it. I want to get onto these different maps and see the difference in quality. That's what we're changing out. Which ones are we swapping?
We're swapping out for the standard. Now we're gonna try the aggressive. Wish us luck.
What do you think?
Oh.
What do you think?
Boy, will you crack on it now? Here, I want you tell me. Man, this thing is retarded. When you get on it, I mean, don't jackass with it. You get on this trailer, get a chance.
See, told you.
Crack the throttle.
So if all you guys know, I ride trails primarily. I've been out here in Charles City for maybe, I don't know, 8 months, and still trying to get my comfort zone into jumping bikes. Primarily, I'm a woods racer, and that's about it. So you can understand the hesitation that you're going to have when you're on a 2019 any kind of a bike that is not yours, when you know the mapping style is basically topped out. So Sean put the aggressive map in this bike, and immediately I could feel the difference coming off of it, just with the throttle response and the torque and how much it wanted to just take off and go. It was a huge difference, and it's a lot to get to wrap your head around. Basically, there's a lot to hang on to. You really got to squeeze it with your legs. You gotta work it. And from my overall experience on the few laps that I did with it, basically the bike is riding you. Kind of like if you're staring at your front fender in the trail is riding you and you're not riding the trail. It's the same thing with this bike. With this map style, it's just ridiculous. The thing has so much torque and so much power. As soon as you gave it any kind of throttle, it was just nuts, and it was not comfortable. And it's only because I'm not a 450 guy. I'm not experienced on 450s. I've ridden, all different kinds of bikes, but with these things, the new ones that these guys are coming out with, they're just nuts, man. They're a lot to deal with, a lot to hang on to, but it's awesome that they are putting these different map styles on it, because if you're not ready for this kind of bike, you can change it to whatever you're comfortable with and still keep the same bike. And that's what I absolutely love about this thing. This KX450 is phenomenal because it has those options, and you can progressively get better, switch maps out, and you really kind of learn with the bike. Now, I'm still able to clear a few of these tabletops with hesitation, because like I said, it's the first time putting these maps on here. I'm not comfortable with them. I don't want to end up wrecking Sean's bike or getting myself into a situation where I'm going to get injured or anything like that, because the response with this white map is just, it's ridiculous. It's crazy. Overshot. Dirt road?
Get some throttle.
So, as excited as that seems to be, I'm still hesitant about taking this thing out on this road, because I know Sean wanted me to open it up, and I definitely do, but I still know this dirt road and front suspensions do not like each other. You get the death wobble, and then you end up going over the bars, and it does happen. So I really wanted to pin it, and I did a couple times. Not fifth gear. I did not top this bike out. There's no way that I would ever even come close to it. But I got about as comfortable as I could on it and tried to go as fast as I could on it, and it is very impressive. That's too much for me.
Man, you see over that road when you pulls, then it just hits like a brick.
Yeah. If you get on it, man, third gear especially, you lead up a little bit, it's just gonna.
Yeah. I can hear you all the way up the road.
Yeah.
You hear it, especially when you land some.
This thing's like a rocket. I like it. It doesn't seem as uncontrollable as I thought it would be.
It's hard to do out there on that track.
Yeah, it is.
You can get like once you nudge in a third, you're at the end of the straightaway.
Yep. Do that.
Man,
This is the white one.
White one's a bit much for me.
There. Focus.
Wow, it'd be great if he did. That's awesome.
Now I wanted to show you guys exactly what these different maps did, and you can tell basically it just changes the electrical components in it. So you can see different pins, the pin out for these connectors, and that
This one shouldn't be
is
that
the
bad.
key basically to these maps. Now I'm not sure if you guys can tell, but we put the black little map sensor on, which is the novice or the less aggressive. And really, I felt 10 times more comfortable on this bike with that than I did with the other two maps. And honestly, I really think it's because of my lack of experience on these bikes, on these 450s and on a motocross track. But overall, it was what I felt comfortable on, and I didn't want to stop riding it. I didn't feel intimidated, I didn't feel the weight, I didn't feel anything like that. I felt like it was extremely controllable on the lifts, off the jumps, in the air, especially on the landings and around the turns, that I was capable to basically work with the bike to where we could kind of communicate together and we knew what we expected from each other. And as soon as you get to that level with the bike that you're on, you're going to be unstoppable. You're only going to get better and better and more comfortable and start doing more and more stuff that you didn't think you were capable of doing. And that's how I felt with this map on this bike. And once again, that's just my opinion. It's a big bike, it's heavy, the seat is uncomfortable, but realistically, when this map was on it, I didn't think about the seat, I didn't think about the weight, I didn't think about anything. All I thought about was how it reacted to what I wanted it to do, and it did exactly what I wanted it to do. Instead of what I wanted it to do and it did 10 times more, it did exactly what I wanted it to do. And I really think that is the silver lining with this bike is it's a bike you can keep for 10, 15 plus years and ride it 3 different ways, 3 different styles, through 3 different terrains or wherever, and gradually grow with it if you really wanted to keep it for an extended amount of time. This is a bike that you can grow with, and that's just awesome, and the idea of that is just great. So I'd asked Sean to just right there a few seconds ago if I could, take it down this road, just so I could compare the difference between the lower to the more aggressive mapping styles. And really, this thing, it does not lack on anything whatsoever. you want to pin it, you can pin it. And it's still going to do everything you absolutely want it to do, but it's just not as aggressive, I guess. And it still got up to speed. It still had all the torque that you really wanted it to deliver to the wheel. But the difference was you controlled it a lot more, and that's what I liked about it as much. Now in the higher gears, going in a more fast-paced area like this, it kind of felt about the same. It didn't feel too different in the higher gears and higher RPM range. It was just the low range that was the absolute difference. That I think makes the difference of the different maps on these bikes. That's my favorite one.
You like that?
Oh yeah. That thing, you can control it way easier.
That's what they say in the magazines. They prefer the black map.
Yeah, man, it's like a whole nother bike. It's a lot more controllable, you know. So if you really want to dump it and try and get off a lift, you can. Instead of it surprising you and you gotta hang on, you know. Yeah, that's a good one. I like that one. What do you think about that one?
I like it. When I was expecting it to punch out, it didn't.
Yeah.
So I caught myself, I was in the turn, I was like, oh, where's it at?